The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, the Jets must cut their roster down to 53 players by 4 p.m. Eastern Time. 948 NFL players need to be waived, released, or moved to a reserve list by the deadline today. Let's talk about the state of the Jets, plus the latest from Robert Saleh on Hassan Reddick and Mike Williams. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Reminder, less than 2 weeks from right now. Less than 2 weeks from right now, the New York Jets are going to be 1-0. We'll be watching it all together. RSVP to our first ever regular season watch party at T-Squared Social. If you're coming out for Monday Night Football, September 9th, party starts at 7. Kickoff is just after 8. I will see all of you there. Free event. You must RSVP, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description for this video. Let's talk all things Jets. The roster needs to be cut to 53 by 4 p.m. Eastern. And let's start with this. No matter what the initial roster is, don't necessarily freak out because it's going to change. Remember, last year they had to cut Thomas Morstead briefly to finagle another player onto the team. As a vested veteran, they were able to finagle the roster. We call it roster gymnastics. Takk McKinley might be that guy this year. I think McKinley will be on the team, but he might get waived early and then be brought back. So keep that in mind. For example, I'll be live today at 4 Eastern. So if you're watching this beforehand, 4 Eastern today, I'll be live with Robbie Sabo from Jets X Factor in his weekly spot to break down the Jets' initial 53-man roster. What I want to talk about right now is just the overall state of the Jets. Because right now, I think you look at this team, and objectively speaking, you have to feel great about where this team is compared to previous Jets teams, especially compared to a Jets team last year that had Super Bowl hype and expectations, when in reality, knowing what we know now, that team would have been a lot better with Aaron Rodgers, certainly would have been better than 7-10. That team with the 13 O-line combinations in 17 games was not winning a championship. They could have been a playoff team, maybe won a playoff game, but knowing what we know now, that team was not winning a championship. I feel completely different about this team. With or without Reddick, I look at the Jets and I think their ceiling is the Super Bowl. I believe that. This is the most talented team they've had since the last time this team was the, AFC finalists for the second year in a row. 2010. You go back even further. So this roster, no matter what they do today, is as loaded of a Jet roster as they've had in a very, very long time. And some news coming out of one Jets drive earlier today, Robert Saleh said Mike Williams is being added to team drills this week, which means the final steps are all coming together. Mike Williams being ramped up to be out there week 1 with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. That's what you need to see. Because when you talk about keys to a Jet season, I truly believe Mike Williams is a major part of all this. You have Garrett Wilson, who is a bona fide megastar. You saw what CeeDee Lamb got yesterday. Market only goes up for wide receivers. Saw Jalen Waddle go $28.5 million with his deal. Garrett Wilson's next contract starts with a 3 in per year, $30 million. That's how special of a player he is and what he could do this year. But outside of him, you got some question marks at the receiver spot. They have the answers, potentially, but Mike Williams, to me, is the biggest key there. So the fact that Mike Williams is going to be in team drills this week and then next week gearing up for San Fran is a great sign. It's a great sign. The Jets said he was on the Breece Hall timeline. He's been ahead of said timeline. So that's a great sign coming out of camp. The other thing I want to talk about here is the latest with Hassan Reddick. The question everyone wants to know is he going to play week 1? Well, he only plays week 1 if he shows up very, very soon. And even if he shows up by the deadline to get paid for week 1, which is either September 2nd or September 3rd, right after Labor Day, there's no guarantee the Jets are just going to throw him out there. This guy doesn't know the system necessarily. He hasn't been around the team. There is no way to know if Reddick would be able to even play in that game. With that said, I do think Hassan Reddick is going to report to the Jets next week because I think at some point he realizes he is absolutely screwed if he sits out multiple games, if he sits out the year. He needs to be paid. He's already cost himself close to $2 million in fines. If he doesn't show up and doesn't go out there and play football this year, he's not getting money from anyone, let alone the Jets. So I think Hassan Reddick was willing to push it as far as he's pushed it, but then next week he shows. So he gets paid, and then we'll see what the Jets want to do. And there was an interesting quote I want to read from Robert Saleh here at his press conference this morning, where he was asked specifically about Reddick and if he shows up, what that could mean for him going forward, if he could play in week 1. And the quote here from Saleh was, is there a path for Reddick to be active week 1? And Saleh said, yeah, depending on, I'm assuming he's in phenomenal shape. Like I said, he's a veteran. He knows what he needs to get ready. He's had success in multiple buildings and multiple schemes with coaching staffs. So he's going to know what he needs to do to be ready for week 1. So he still has plenty of time. We're now on day 36 of the holdout. That has now surpassed the Darrelle Revis holdout in 2010 for those keeping score. I don't think Hassan Reddick's playing week 1. I don't. I think we see Reddick either week 2 against the Titans, or they hold him out for that game because it's a short week and they ramp him up to be ready to go for the home opener against the Patriots. That's what I see happen. But ultimately, whether he plays or not for week 1, I think he's going to be out there at some point this season for the Jets. And when he does, yeah, there's that injury risk, right? Is he going to hurt his hamstring? Who knows? What type of shape is he in? But it will behoove him to go out there and ball out, because if the Jets aren't going to pay him, someone has to pay him. And that's truly the bottom line. But you look at where this team is right now. Reddick situation aside, they leave training camp and these 3 preseason games as healthy as you could have hoped to be. Because you look at where the Jets are from an injury standpoint, all the guys you had questions about their health, Mike Williams being the most recent example. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, how would he look this summer? He's looked like Aaron Rodgers. Tyron Smith, AVT coming off his Achilles. Morgan Moses coming off the shoulder surgery. All these guys have looked awesome. They're healthy. And Michael Carter's the one injury of a really key player you suffered this summer. Expectation is he's ready to go for week 1. So I think when you look at where the Jets are right now, this is about as talented of a team as they put on the field in 14 or 15 years. And I think your confidence meter should be very high when you talk about the overall state of the team. Now, as far as the cuts today, we're going to see what they do, because there's some tough decisions they got to make. Are they keeping 4 running backs? How many receivers are they keeping? If they keep 6, is Herb Charles one of them? Or do they cut Charles and keep Brownlee? Could Brandon Smith make a play? How many guys are they going to be able to keep ultimately on the defensive line? Can they fit 10? What does it mean for Reddick? The bottom line is, when it comes to this roster, this team is loaded. So we're really debating 51, 52, 53. In the past, the Jets needed waiver wire cuts to fill out their own roster. Gerard Mayo, the Patriots coach, is talking about needing to use the waiver wire to fill his starting offensive line. That used to be the Jets, depending on other teams' players. So no matter what happens today and some of these difficult decisions the Jets have to make with the roster, just take a step back and remember how talented this football team is. Now, some notes coming out of practice here. McKinley, Taylor, McGregor, and Watts are all at practice, which is a sign they maybe have made the team, but you never know. For example, no sign of either Adrian Martinez or Andrew Peasley. You know what that means? They've been waived, and one of them, probably Martinez, will be added to the practice squad. So we will see. But overall, now you talk about keys to a successful season, health being the biggest. You throw that one out of the window here because we all know that. Every team needs to be healthy, especially the Jets. We get that. I mentioned Mike Williams before when talking about him being cleared for team drills. You know what else the Jets need to do? They need, defensively, to be able to prove with or without Hassan Reddick that they could truly now game wreck games. And what I mean by that is force more turnovers, strip sacks, put pressure on the quarterback, really play loose. I think Jermaine Johnson's got to take his game to another level. I think there's another level for Quincy. I think Sauce has got to be more opportunistic with his chances at turning you over, and I think he will. Like, that's how the Jets defense can go from what it's been to maybe the best in the league. And with Reddick, I think they got a great chance of being the best defense in the league. I think other keys to a successful season is obviously these running backs, man, being a focal point for the offense. We all want to see Aaron Rodgers rip it downfield, and there'll be moments where he has to do that, and it's tight late, and he goes and wins you the game. But the comp for what the Jets, I think, are trying to do offensively is Breece Hall is Terrell Davis. John Elway, winning his back-to-back Super Bowls last 2 years of his career, relied on a future Hall of Fame running back. Breece Hall could be a modern-day Terrell Davis. So I think a major key is Breece obviously being healthy, but being the focal point they need him to be. And I think it's trending towards that being the case. The Jets practice this summer, and I made note of this many times on the show. The Jets practice this summer like a team that understands Breece is their best player. The way they used him out of the backfield, the way they lined him outright in the slot, the way they featured him in the red zone when they needed a play. Breece Hall, to me, is the biggest X factor, biggest key to this team doing what they need to do. Because I think Rodgers will be, worst case scenario, average to above average. Best case, he's an MVP level player. If he's in that 10 to 12 range, which is a fair expectation, if Breece Hall is your best offensive player, you're going to feel really good about your chances. Keep that in mind. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're expected to be joined by Frankie V from uStadium. He was having some tech issues, so we started a little late, and I jumped on without him. But I believe Frankie is actually on hold right now, so we'll see if we can hear him. Frankie, do you hear me?
Yo, man, I'm back. I'm back, baby. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm glad you figured out the tech problems, dude.
You know what? I'm switching studios right now, and now that I was in Italy, I told you I was in Italy for a few weeks. I just got back not too long ago, and I'm trying to fix this room up, and there's bad internet, and it's chaos back here. So this is like step one of like 10 steps, but don't worry, I'm back. Thanks for being patient. Appreciate you, Jake.
Well, I appreciate you hopping on, and I don't know how much of my monologue you just heard there, but just talking about the state of this team. I mean, look, you compared this roster to previous Jet teams. You got to go back a long time from, I think, the last time the Jets had this much talent.
Jake, I think it's the best roster we've ever had. And honestly, I don't think it's close. This roster, from top to bottom, you go from offensive line to defensive line, corner, quarterback, running back, even wide receiver. I can't imagine a better roster as a Jets fan. I just can't. We have top 5 talent, arguably, at every single position besides maybe safety in the league. PFF came out with their roster rankings with Mike Clay. We were first for a reason. This roster is stacked, and the more and more I'm seeing them practice, for example, against the Giants in that joint practice, you just see how we're just clearly just better than them, and it's not even remotely close. So when you're looking at our roster as in totality, now it's about how do you maximize the production? How does the coaching staff maximize out each individual player to make plays? And that's what it comes down to. Are these coaches going to be able to do that? Is Robert Saleh going to be able to take this elite roster? Again, I think it's the best roster we've ever had. Is Robert Saleh and Ulbrich and Hackett, are they going to be able to take, and the positional coaches, take this roster and bring it from elite to 12 games, 13 wins? I mean, that's what we're looking at right now. And I'm not as confident in that, but I think this team's going to make the playoffs, but I'm sure we'll get more into that. But this roster is amazing. It gets better and better the more and more I look into it and look at how they practice. It's awesome, dude.
Well, to me, the minimum expectation for the regular season is this team's got to win the division. Set yourself up with a home playoff game for the first time in over 20 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This team needs to start fast because what happens is this. I don't there's a few different things going on in my head. So one is we cannot do what Aaron's done in the past at times and what we're sort of thinking because there's so many new pieces that maybe they'll start off a little slow. We can't start off slow because of our schedule. We have, after San Francisco, I think we're favored in the next 5 games. We can't go, 3-3 after 6 games. Like, this team needs to figure out a way to get to 4-2. Then the schedule toughens up a bit. Then there's some cold weather. I'm sure injuries are going to start hitting us a little bit just because we have a lot of players that are coming off of injury. Start fast. Get to 4-2. Get to 5-1. Right? Why not? I mean, so that week 2 matchup, like you've been discussing on your show, is going to be super important. I think that's really the barometer for me as to, are we going to come off a big win against San Francisco on Monday night, and then we're going to follow that up with just a dominant week 2 win to go to 2-0, or are we going to lose to San Francisco and then things just aren't working out and then we end up being 1-1, or doomsday starting off 0-2. So that week 2 game is going to tell me a lot about what kind of team this is early on, and are they going to be able to, rip off those next 5 games and win 4 of them, etc. So
we're talking with Frankie V, co-founder of uStadium here, all things Jets. We're keeping everyone up to date on any news coming out of the Jets building in regards to cuts. Reminder, if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, you get bonus content, your name in the intro, 15% off every item in the jakeasman.com merch store. And I want to give a huge shout out to Zalix and Raul Marino for being our 2 most recent Patreon subscribers. Frankie, when it comes to Hassan Reddick, at what point do you just say there's no way he's playing week 1? Because Saleh left it open-ended today saying, hey, if he shows up, depending on what type of shape he's in, he's a veteran, he could still be active for week 1. What are your thoughts on Reddick and where things stand right now?
Well, I'll say this. I'm a big Douglas fanboy. This is an L by Joe Douglas. You cannot offer a player a contract, or they're his agency. You can't offer them a deal, and after you've been rejected via that deal, that you're going to then continue and go through with the trade and then expect that you're going to be able to just patch things up and make it work. Well, you're not making it work, and you're putting this team in a bad spot because we don't know what production we're going to get from some of our edges, especially post JFM, his departure. So I think right now someone has to flinch. Either we have to flinch or he has to flinch. I think we have the leverage. However, the only leverage he has, which might be the most important piece of leverage here, is his production on the field. If there's a 3rd and 14, we need Hassan Reddick out there. We're trying to beat Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. You're going to need somebody on a 3rd and long that you can trust to get to the quarterback. I love our defensive tackles. I think they can make up for some of that's not coming from the edge necessarily. However, there's a reason that we were all so excited. There's a reason he's top 5 in sacks over the last 5 seasons in total sacks. We need this guy here. Who's going to flinch first? I'll say this. They're going to play their hand as much as they can because all that money, what is it, 1.7 million plus right now, that he's losing, quote unquote, they're going to want that back in some sort of bonus or something when that extension does hit. I think we're going to flinch. I think Joe Douglas and the Jets, they're going to eventually think to themselves, what are we doing here? This is a short window. Pay the guy the damn money, take it on the books, and then
what are they paying him, though? Because I disagree. I don't think they're going to give him a multi-year extension. I think maybe they give him some incentives to boost up his base pay. I know it's non-guaranteed, so maybe they guarantee it. But like when you say they're going to cave, what does that mean?
I mean, listen, you got to go with the Daniil Hunter contract. They're
not going to do that, though.
I know.
I don't think there's any way that happens.
I think he thought that, though, Hassan. I mean, like, I remember you bringing this up, and I was with you on this. Guarantee the year out. Guarantee the full year. He doesn't want that, though. Like, it's clear that they want at least 2 years. Cool,
but he has no leverage at this point.
Yeah, but the leverage he has is we don't have a pass rusher that we can necessarily depend. I mean, Jermaine's great, but he's not Hassan Reddick. So
yeah, but then he doesn't get paid if he doesn't show up and his contract tolls. Then what?
I know, but again, where's the line drawn? Because if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you might say, let's overdo this, let's overextend ourselves to maybe win this year or next year, bring him here for 2 years, and then we'll wash away with it. I don't think they should necessarily do that, Jake. I really don't. However, when you look at the situation, what do you think? I mean, I'm curious what you think or your fans. I mean, I think we're going to fold. I think you're going to wake up one day, there's some extension with heavy incentives, paying him around $21 million per year, guaranteeing the first couple years with a big signing bonus or accelerator if it's not considered a bonus because it's an extension. But I'm telling you, that's what I think is going to happen, because I think we're going to look at our roster and say, all we're really missing is that 3rd and 14 edge, which is why we wanted Hassan here in the first place.
Yeah, I think there's a 0% chance of that happening, to be totally honest with you.
So you think he'll come on the 1 year?
Yeah, I think he shows up next week to get paid for week 1. He might not play week 1 because that's his last thing he could do is show up so late after missing the entire offseason where he doesn't know the scheme and he's not ready to go out there and play. But I think the only way he gains some sort of leverage, or maybe they would cave and give him some of that money you're talking about, is if there's a significant injury to Quinnen or Jermaine, and then it's like, then they really need him. But unless that happens, and knock on wood, the Jets have been very fortunate with health this summer for the most part, I don't see it, man. I mean, the fact that he made the trade request public, he tried to blast the Jets through the media with his agent leaking out stuff. I don't think the Jets want to set a precedent to the rest of the team that, hey, you play this card, then we eventually pay you. Like, I think it'd be a bad look when you're going into negotiations next year with some of your best players like Sauce, Garrett, Jermaine, et cetera. So I don't see that happening at all. I think he will show up, and then maybe they give him something to kind of smooth it over, guarantee the money, some incentives, like what Amari Cooper got, an extra $5 million in potential incentives. But you're talking about 2 or 3 year extensions. I don't see any scenario that happens.
But yeah, I agree with you for the most part. The thing I think that some people may fail to understand in this situation is the agencies coming from CAA and what they're looking for. I mean, they represented Deebo Samuel. They represented the same agent represents CeeDee Lamb, represented DK Metcalf. I mean, they've gone through their process there where basically they've told teams and fan bases too, we don't give a crap about your team or your fans. Honestly, we want our money. Pay us or we're not showing up.
But they don't have to pay him, because then he's going to lose money.
But then they're thinking, why did you trade for him in the first place then if you weren't going to give him the extension that he wanted? I get the Jets were willing to give him something, but I don't think it was that 1 year fully guaranteed assumption that we all had in our minds. I did too. That wasn't legit enough for them, obviously. You know, I mean, they want a 3-year, $65 million extension, which I wouldn't give him. I think that's ridiculous.
But no one's going to give him that, because that's why he went for a 2026 third-round pick. There was no value for him. He has zero leverage here. I think Joe Douglas completely screwed up this entire thing. But now that we're here, the stance that he has taken and the Jets are taking, that's the only thing they could do at this point. I'm not now caving and sending that president to a guy that they don't even know. Like, that to me would be a terrible decision. This is not Revis in 2010 where he's coming up the greatest season any of us have ever seen a corner have, and you need him with that team. Like, this is a guy who's never played for you. So I think Douglas screwed up making this deal without having a new contract for Reddick in place. I've said that at the time. I assumed they had something like a wink, wink, it was going to get done, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But now that we know that's not the case, I think Douglas deserves criticism for that. But I won't criticize the Jets for their stance at this point. You can't, 1, trade him, and 2, you can't give him a multi-year extension now. That'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in the sense too that If you don't want to give him that extension, just wait it out. But are you willing to lose football games? Are we willing to lose? I mean, he has to.
Well, here's the thing, right? If they lose week 1, I still expect them to be 4-1 going into that Buffalo game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you. I think realistically 3-2, but 4-1 makes sense. Yeah,
they're going to be a big favorite in the Titans game, in the Patriots game, in the Broncos game, and in London against Darnold in that one. So, that bare minimum, they're 3-2. They should be 4-1.
Yes.
And I'm also not ruling out the fact that they win week 1 because right now, last I checked, the Niners don't have Trent Williams, who's holding out. Brandon Ayuk is holding in. What's his situation? Christian McCaffrey's dealing with a calf injury. I don't think they'd rush him back unless he's 100%. So how do we know the Jets aren't 5-0, honestly, or 4-1?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm thinking we can get this. I mean, I was looking the first 8 games. I think we can realistically be 6-2. I mean, that's realistic, 100%. The issue, though, becomes this for me. When you look at the defense specifically, I'm actually not concerned with the defense, but with our safety play and some of the, I don't know, it seems like DJ Reed's going through some downward turn. I'm thinking we need to get to the quarterback. So Quinnen, the guys up front, if we keep this Leonard Taylor kid, which I think we absolutely should, looks great. We need our defensive tackles to get to the quarterback and get to the quarterback in a timely fashion so we're not getting toasted down the deep middle of the field. You saw what Miami did to us last year. It is a big gaping hole in our defense. If you don't have Hassan Reddick, Bryce Huff's not here, JFM's not here either, you start to maybe giving the opposing quarterbacks a little bit too much time in the pocket to find those players deep middle. It's tough. Our corners are excellent, but there's only so much you can cover, especially in today's NFL, Jake. You can't even touch a receiver anymore. Like they're throwing flags. I mean, and our corners are fantastic, the best in the league, in my opinion, bar none. However, who's getting to the quarterback? Is Jermaine going to take that jump again, like he did in year 2? Is he going to take another jump? Is Will McDonald going to take the Jermaine jump in year 2? I think Will McDonald, if you want my honest opinion, what I would do, and it's crazy, but I can be a little nutty. Look at my hair. Hair looks terrible, by the way. I need a haircut. Jeez Louise, I'm like sweating over here. I got to get a hat, Jake. I'm going to buy one from your store, by the way.
JakeAsman.com, Frankie. I got you.
Yeah, /shop, right?
They nailed it.
There you go. I'm putting Will out there week 1. Throw the kid out there. Give him 35 to 40 snaps. See what the kid can do. Let him learn. He's only going to get better with reps. That is it. He's got the skill. He's got the talent. He's got the pop. He's got the quick twitch. He's a little thin, but he moves well, and he's aggressive enough where it's okay. Let him play. And crap, if he plays well, we're not even thinking about Hassan Reddick, honestly.
But here's the thing, too. Like, they're going to be playing with more leads in these games. I think Quinnen's going to have more opportunities to wreck games. Jermaine's going to have more opportunities to wreck games. I think Kinlaw is going to be a really good move that we look back on and go, Jets knew what they were doing with that one. Like, there'll be more opportunities for this defense to dominate with or without Reddick. So, like, they're obviously not as good without Hassan Reddick, but to me, they're still a top 5 defense without him. And their offense is going to go from dog crap, worst in the NFL, to at the bare minimum, it's at least average. It will be better than that, in my opinion. But like, that's what we're talking about here. So I think unless there's a significant injury to one of these defensive linemen, Reddick has overplayed his hand, and I think he shows up next week to get paid. And if I'm the Jets, I maybe sweeten his current deal a little bit with incentives, but I'm not giving him any extension. He's playing on his contract, and it would behoove him to ball out so he gets paid by somebody next offseason.
Yeah. But I'm asking you a question. I'm curious here. Why did we trade for Hassan Reddick in the first place? From his perspective, why would you go to a new team? This is his 4th team in 5 years. He apparently wants his money. I mean, he took that 1-year deal years ago that he probably felt stupid about. He sees the deals going on in the league today with edges specifically. There's really no edges available. I just don't see him playing on the same deal that he could have played on in Philly if they weren't, that's why they got rid of him in the first place. So like, where's the line is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying like, there's a line to draw in the sand here that both sides, it's like, I don't know what it is.
Well, I think there's a miscommunication clearly on both sides. Like the Jets were under the impression, hey, you show up and we'll redo your deal. He's like, I'm not showing up unless I get a deal. Like that's That's the issue. Like, this should have been hammered out beforehand. But now that we're here, like, that's ultimately where we're at. And if you're Hassan Reddick's agent, you're giving him shit advice. Excuse my language, but that's the only way I could describe it.
Of course they are.
By telling him to not show up. Because guess what? If you show up, there's more of a chance you're going to get a deal done. Robert Saleh could say, hey, I need this guy, Joe. You got to get him signed. Like, he could bank. Like, you can't, like, we watched Hard Knocks in 2010 with Rex, like how frustrated Rex was with the Revis negotiations, how he was in Tannenbaum's office saying, we got to get this guy. And then when they finally knew they weren't going to get him, he was pissed saying, watch what happens Monday night. Like, that would have got the deal done. That rant by Rex got Tannenbaum to cave whatever it was, and they got the deal done. Like, that could have happened, but Reddick misplayed it. He should have watched Hard Knocks 2010 and realized that's the move if you want to get paid by Woody Johnson.
I like your tweet about the Roscoe Diner. That was nice.
Get him at the Roscoe Diner.
I used to drive by the Roscoe Diner every day.
Me too. Yeah. On the way up to Ithaca College.
Yeah,
back in my day. I mean, here's what needs to happen. All right, Joe Douglas needs like 7 omelets. Reddick's agent needs to be at the Roscoe Diner, and let's get it done because this is stupid.
Jake, you know what's going on in the league today? Not to bring this into some other conversation, but I think players right now, there's like a movement for player empowerment, which I'm for the most part. But it's getting to the point now where agents are telling players, don't even show up. Don't even. You don't need to bend over backwards. This isn't college football. You're not owned by the team yet. Go and sit at home and wait for them to give you your money. When they give you your money, then you're going to show up. I'm telling you, that's what's going on today. It never used to be like this. We're seeing that now. CAA is telling Reddick, like, similarly to what they told Debo last year, don't show up. Let them pay you, and then you'll show up. Like, this is really like, this is a game of chicken here.
Yeah, but here's where it's different, right? Debo had been established with the Niners. Hassan Reddick hasn't been with the Jets for a day. Like, they've operated the entire offseason like he's not even on the team. Like, none of his teammates know him. CJ Mosley's is like, I haven't spoken to him. He's like, I was looking forward to getting to know him when he shows up. They're looking at it like, we got Will McDonald. We got I heard Quentin Williams say Will McDonald's been the player that's impressed him the most this summer. Like, McDonald's could be a good player. I don't know if he'll be as good as what Jermaine was from year 1 to year 2. But if he's good with Jermaine, with Quentin, you got 3 guys there that can rush the passer, the best secondary in the league, 2 all-pro level linebackers. Like, you're still going to have a damn good defense.
I agree. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know what – and, you know, when Joe Douglas came out with that statement after Reddick requested a trade, I liked it at first. I'm like, oh, nice playing, you know, slamming your fist on the table. Show up, we'll pay you. We're not trading you. Then I thought about it. Not the smartest move. For one reason, you're going to tick off the agency. Oh, they want to come out with public statements and do this kind of stuff? You're sort of poking them a little bit. You're sort of, you're sort of, turning their wheels a bit.
You know what that tells me, though? I think, because normally I would agree, but I think in the past when the Jets have had players request trades, they never put out a statement. I think they did it this time because they probably feel that they have it on the record, or they're very confident with what they told to Woody Johnson. This guy's going to show up and we'll redo his deal. Like, they had that. Like, the coaches all said that it was all leaked out from the Jets side of things. They thought the guy was going to show and he never did. So the Jets are very confident in their stance because they probably feel like they made it as abundantly clear as they could to the Reddick camp. Show up, and then we'll consider redoing your deal, but nothing unless you don't show up.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I think that's why they're handling it the way they did, because you had Jamal Adams request a trade, Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore request trades, Zach Wilson requested the trade. They didn't put out statements for any of that. Yeah.
So if you had to say right now, you think he's going to show up, they're going to guarantee some money year 1, and he's going to play on this current deal? No extension? No year 2?
I don't think he gets a second year. I don't. I think he gets something this year, and he shows up next week, because, I mean, if you're Hassan Reddick's agent, you are steering your client wrong if you think it's going to work out well for you if you don't show up next week.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. I also, man, I mean, like, when we traded for Hassan, I remember there was a bunch. I mean, this is a little bit of a weird point, but I do remember and I recall on Twitter all these Jets players coming out, Sauce, Reed, in support of it. Let's go, fired up. They're all fired up saying stuff. And I remember Reddick didn't say anything for like 3 or 4 days after. And I'm like, it's kind of weird because he posts every once in a while. So I'm like, I wonder if he knew he was traded, but he knew that they had rejected the deal that he originally wanted. And maybe he knew this was going to happen to begin with. Remember, he goes to Japan on vacation and whatnot. I think he knew, like, that presser that he had with the Jets, that opener, I think he was just talking out of his behind just to sort of play it right with the media. I think he knew this was going to happen from a month ago, 2 months ago, honestly. I don't think he had any intention of ever stepping into that facility without a long-term or a multi-year deal.
First State Jets has gifted a channel membership to himself. He signed up the old-fashioned way.
Nice.
First State Jets, thank you very much. Let's get some more channel members. We added the Connor, 13-year-old child emoji yesterday to the arsenal, so we're seeking more channel memberships. Make sure you turn on gift receipts. Tyrone with a super chat. Reddick should fire his agents. Go Jets. I don't think his agents have done him any favors here. I'm with you, Tyrone. John writes in with a super chat. Can't use the funds that would go to JJ Sauce or Garrett. I also think it's not even that, just Frankie, when it comes to the Reddick stuff. He's a 30-year-old pass rusher that uses speed to win at the line of scrimmage. We sure he's going to still be that quick a year from now, 2 years from now? Like, I think if it was like a different type of pass rusher, maybe you would be willing to do a multi-year extension, because then you could spread out the signing bonus and create more cap space. I could see the angle there. I just don't think, unless Hassan Reddick showed up, was a great teammate, and then balled out, I never thought the Jets looked at him as anything other than, hey, he's probably a hired gun for this year and maybe one more year, but they're not going to give him a 3 or 4 year deal.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he did last year, you can argue, was his worst year since his rookie season. So, I mean, he still had 11 sacks, though. I mean, he still had double-digit sacks. I think and I tweeted this about, I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that depending upon how Will McDonald develops, I think that'll tell us what we're willing to do when it comes to Hassan and how much we really need him. I mean, listen, if Will McDonald can get 10, 11 sacks this year, let's just say, I don't even care. I mean, I would love Reddick here, but I wouldn't love him here on a long-term deal. Like, I just wouldn't. Of course, on a 1 year, I think, any Jet fan would want that. But depending upon how Will McDonald progresses, that'll dictate a lot to me as to, like, how much we need Hassan here.
Metropolitan writes in, who wants to sign him after the Eagles let him go? Now trouble on the Jets. He needs to play, get 10 sacks, earn a big deal next year somewhere. Yeah, like that to me is the other thing. Like, that's why I think he's going to show up next week, because he needs to play well for someone this year. It's going to be the Jets, in my opinion, so he can get paid next year. He'll be a free agent. See, Danielle Hunter was a free agent. Like, that's the difference with some of these pass rushers that have gotten deals the last couple of years. They've hit the open market. Like, Hassan Reddick has been under contract.
The Danielle Hunter deal was more than I thought, too. I mean, I'm a huge Danielle Hunter fan. I've always been. But, I mean, for him to get, those 2 years and almost $50 million, 49 with a $21 million signing bonus, that's hefty, man. You're paying the guy almost $25 million a year, 30-plus-year-old, or he's going to be 30, I believe, edge. I mean, Hassan looks at that, and he wants that money. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, we sort of tried to play our hand a bit. I think Joe Douglas said, I'll figure it out, because that's the one thing Joe Douglas, and this is like almost like a life thing too. Like, there's some people that just figure things out. Like, I'll jump in a fire and figure out how to get out of it. I think he tried it here, and it's not working, because sometimes you don't get out without any, burn marks. That's a terrible analogy, but you know what I'm saying. But no, but seriously, like, Joe Douglas likes a little bit of this, I don't want to call it chaos, but he thought that he could figure this situation out. And CAA's like, not with us, man. Maybe with other agencies, but not with us.
Well, he's rep by CAA too. That's what makes this thing so weird.
It is strange, right? I know.
Zach Miller with a Asmaniac chat. You know who else thinks the Jets are a Super Bowl contender? My mom. Whoa, if you get the reference, props, Jake. I don't get the reference. Frankie, do you?
No, I don't get the reference.
Zach, appreciate you watching the show, but you might have to explain the joke to us. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. There's 456 people watching live right now.
Let's go.
140 likes. Let's get those likes up. It helps the algorithm. Appreciate everyone for their support. We're presented today by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. I'm in a mood right now to talk Jets Niners, Frankie. So you know what I did before the show? I put together my first Underdog Jets pick'em of the season. So I want you to break this down. And Jet fans, this is a $20 entry to win $120 with Underdog Fantasy. Use code Asman and download the app today, and you could take these same exact picks, or you could fade my picks if you think I stink, which, let's be honest, sometimes I do. But I'm wearing deodorant. Don't worry. Anyway, here are the 3 picks I like. So the way Underdog does their pick 'em, you have to pick a player that's represented on at least 2 different teams, meaning you can't only just do Jets. You have to pick at least a player that is not on the team that you're picking, meaning I could do Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and Aaron Judge if I wanted. It just has to be someone that's not all on the same team. So I did Breece, Garrett, and Brock Purdy. Number 1, Breece, higher than 68.5 rushing yards. I think they're going to feed that man a lot in week 1. I'm going higher on that. Garrett Wilson, he's the go-to guy with Mike Williams limited. Rodgers going to be feeding him, higher on 69.5 receiving yards. I think both of these throughout the year will increase. They're set low right now because there's the unknown of Rodgers, but get them while it's hot. And then finally, Brock Purdy. Jets defense last year, number 1 against the pass. Very rarely did they allow more than 240 passing yards. So I'm going lower on Brock Purdy. So 2 highers, 2 lowers. This is my first Underdog pick'em entry of the season. You can make the same picks for your chance to win cash with Underdog Fantasy. Go to the website or download the app. Your thoughts, Frankie?
You know, I do like it. The only thing I'll say is this, being a big pick'em person myself, sometimes when you go over rushing and over receiving, you're considering the whole offense is going to have a big day, an explosive day.
Yep.
So sometimes it's better just like to go higher on receiving and maybe double up with receivers. Let's say it's a big passing day. So you're assuming it might be a big passing and a big rushing day against a really good defense. But I'm sure one of those 2 will hit. And I think lower with Purdy for sure. So
yeah. Well, to me, it's like I think Breece could just rip off a big run and then they'll just feed Garrett Wilson. Like Garrett Wilson could have like 75 yards. He goes higher on the number, and then Breece, I think, could get at least 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, that's Breece for you. I mean, he could literally pop off a 50-plus yard run at any point in a game. I'll say this, Garrett, whatever his overs are for the season, I'm smashing freaking, money on that. Like that to me, if I don't even, honestly, this sounds crazy. Even if Rodgers isn't healthy, I would take the over with Garrett receiving yards. I think after this season, he's going to be talked about as a top 5 receiver in the game. I really believe that. He's looked fantastic in camp. He's looked awesome in joint practices. I mean, this kid is just so twitchy, so smooth, gets how to play the game, loves the volume, doesn't shy away from anything, doesn't drop many passes. I mean, what a great pick he's been for us. What a great player.
Amen. By the way, Zach's reference, according to Craig and a bunch of people in the chat, is from the regular show.
Not familiar.
I haven't seen it, but maybe I'll look into it. Peter Castro checks in. Let Reddick sit out. It's all about money, not football. Screw him. See, here's the thing. If he wants to come back, I'll take him. That's where I draw the line from those say, just cut him, get rid of him. No, I'm not cutting off my nose to spite my face. Hassan Reddick makes the Jets defense maybe the best in football. They're good without him. They could be the best in the league with him. So if there's a way to work it out where you're not giving him multiple years, but you do something to his deal where at least he feels better about it, he's in camp with a positive attitude, that is beneficial for a team that is trying to win their first championship since before the moon landing.
Yep.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Gusbuster hotline is open. So if you want to call into the show, you certainly can. Michael's predicting 118 catches, 1,652 yards, and 11 touchdowns for Garrett Wilson. Your thoughts?
You know what? That's not off if Rodgers is healthy the whole year. I think you're not off at all. I really believe that.
Morgan writes in, what are your expectations for Braylon Allen this year? Could be a strong goal line back. Yeah, look, I have a fantasy draft tomorrow night, 3rd pick, taking Breece, assuming he's there. I got to make sure I handicap and get Braylon Allen later on in the draft. He'll play a role. I think this offense is obviously going to be very Breece heavy, but Braylon Allen could be a guy that could score some touchdowns around the goal line. I agree, Morgan. Go ahead, Frank. You can weigh in.
Oh no! I mean, they asked you. I don't want to step.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm asking you.
Okay. No, listen. I loved him before the draft. I came on your show and we spoke about Braylon Allen, if you remember, even before we drafted him. I'm a big fan. I think that kid. There's going to be some games where you're not going to want to take him out. I'm just telling you this because the thing with Braylon Allen, and everyone says that it's about his strength and it's about how much of a bruiser he is. He's got the vision element too. He can see the field. He can set up his blocks. He can figure out where to go with the ball when there's cloggage on the O-line. He's really that smooth, and he's got great vision, like I'm saying. So he might be more than just, fans, because he's just strong and just give him the ball on the goal line and he'll truck someone and just get that 2 yards. Like, no, he's more than that. He's got a little bit of that Arian Foster to him. He's got a little bit of that Matt Forte to him. The kid's going to be really, really good for us. And hey, down the line, don't be surprised if the Jets are like, do we really have to pay? I hate saying this. Do we really have to pay Brees? We got Braylon Allen. But the great thing about this year is both of those guys, we can just feed them often, and that'll help everybody out on offense. Aaron doesn't even need to throw the ball more than 33, 35 times in some games if you're feeding these two guys. And Izzy, I want him on the roster. Keep him around. You never know. I want 4 running backs on this team. I want Davis, Izzy, Braylon, and Brees. That running back room is awesome. And I think Isaiah Davis, is going to add a lot of value, Jake, not only as a running back and on special teams. I think they might do some stuff with him in the backfield, some fun things with Aaron back there, little scat guy. So I'm loving this running back room. Really am.
Darius Richards with his free Asmaniac super chat. Would you take Brees at 2 in fantasy? I would have no problem taking him 1. That's how confident I am.
Really?
And Brees, yeah, I would do it because I don't think it's that much of a drop-off between him or McCaffrey, him or Lamb. Like, who are the other guys that are mocked in the top 3, top 5? Like, Brees is right there with any of them, in my opinion. So I have the 3rd pick tomorrow in my draft. I'm taking Brees if he's there at 3. I would have no issue taking him at 1.
Yeah, 3's perfect. You just got to hope one of the 2 guys in front of you doesn't take him. 2 people in front of you doesn't take him. But yeah, I think Brees is just in line for a huge year. The thing is, in fantasy now, it's how do you judge it with like wide receivers versus running backs? Like, do you take a Tyreek Hill or a CeeDee Lamb over, a CMC or Brees? It's like I see some drafts receivers are like the top 3 picks if you're doing PPR. Are you doing PPR?
It's a half-point PPR.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah, so Brees makes a lot of sense there.
John with a super chat. He cuts the line. Tight end Adams, or Tay Adams is what he's saying. So he's pulling up a Devontae stats from 2021. 123 catches, 1,553 yards, 11 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, question mark. Look, I've made the point. Take one of Devontae's best years. Project that for Garrett. I could definitely see it.
Yep, and they're similar receivers too. I think Garrett's more athletic though. I really do. I think maybe Devontae was a little bit more elusive in route running early on. Later on he wasn't. So I think Garrett's more explosive. I think Garrett's going to have over 1,450 yards receiving. I'm almost certain of that.
Just pray for health for him because, man, does he deserve it with Rodgers.
Yeah, he does.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're talking with Frankie V, co-founder of uStadium. You guys have a cool event coming up with Tyron Smith, right? Tell the audience about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing a charity event with Tyron on September 24th at Harrison Meadows. It is in support of moms supporting moms. It's a charity in New Jersey. I'd love for you to come, Jake. It is considered a private event, so it's almost like an invite only. But if you DM uStadium and you have a relationship with us, we'll extend the invite. And basically the whole point of the event is just to bring Jet fans together, have a fun day at the course, support a charity. And you get to meet Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith is connected with this charity in New Jersey. We built a connection with his agency. And we just think it'll be a fun way to get out there and enjoy the camaraderie of Jet Nation, baby, which, as you know, I see you doing events there. It's the best, man. There's nothing better than an event with Jet fans, you know?
Are you ready for week 1? Could we get the uStadium crew in the house at T-Squared Social?
You know what? I might hold you to that. Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. Yes, I'm doing a post game with the New York Post and SNY. I'm not sure if we're doing it on Monday, though. So I'm like in a weird spot this year where I don't know if I can go to things or go to I don't even know if I can go watch the game at a bar because I have to do a post game. So I'm
Me too, but I'm watching the game at the bar that I'm hustling home to do the post game.
You know what? Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just go to the SNY studio. All right, I'm going to hold you to that. Let me figure out my plans, but I do want to go. I wanted to go to your last event, but I flew in a day after. So, yeah.
Are you doing the thing with Dexter?
No, I'm doing it with Ryan Sampson. He actually just got promoted at the New York Post to executive producer. So it'll be him, myself, and I think we're going to have Brian Costello and some other characters at the New York Post and beat people coming on. I don't know the details of where I'm going to fall in line to this schedule because I'm not employed by the Post or SNY, obviously, but I believe it's going to be a post-game thing that's going to be in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I'll talk to you about it more. But yeah, we want you on. I spoke to him about you already. So
you want to laugh? I'm getting a call right now from Joe Beningo. I got to call Joe back after this.
Put him on.
Might be my last show if I don't tell Joe we're on the air.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, Frankie, I appreciate you hopping on, man. This was a lot of fun. Glad to get you on, and we're feeling good about this season, and I'm sure this will be the first of many visits where we come on and we're positive about the Jets for the first time in a long time.
Hell yeah, man. I think this is going to be a season we look back on, and it's one of the brighter moments in Jets history. Sorry about the technical stuff. This studio is going to be done in about a week, so just give me some time, and then it won't happen again.
All good. He's Frankie V. Check out his work with uStadium. They do a great job covering really every sport, but they're very NFL focused, and a bunch of Jet fans work for the company, so you get a lot of Jet stuff out of them as well. Comments, questions, super chats. I'll stay on for a little while longer. Busy day today. We're going to be back again at 4 p.m. Eastern time with Robbie Sabo from Jets X Factor. We're going to go live right at 4 when the Jet roster has to technically be set. So keep that in mind. Today's show, I already mentioned it, brought to you by the Patreon. I want to encourage listeners to sign up for the Patreon. You get bonus shows, your name in the intro, and maybe the most important thing, access to the Discord where you find out about exclusive events early, when I'm on the radio, before anyone else. You get to interact with a lot of the callers you see on the show or interact with people you see in the chat. It is an awesome, awesome perk, and I want to encourage people to join the Patreon and get in the Discord because I keep getting asked by people, are you going to this game? Is there a meetup plan for this one? And I can tell you, while I'm not going to every road game, there's a bunch of Asmaniacs who will be at each one, including the Niner one. So if you're looking for something to do for week one, get in my Discord channel and connect with your fellow Jet fans for meetups, tailgates, etc. for those going to San Fran, Tennessee, all the different trips that the Jets have this season. So I want to make sure everyone's aware. It's a great way to connect with your fellow Jet fans. Go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Comments, questions, super chats. If you want to call into the show, the Gus Buster hotline is open. I'm going to lift the curtain a little bit right now. All right. Bobby Midnight was on hold, but because he couldn't speak to Frankie, he then hung up right away. So I guess I'm no good for Bobby now. He's just big time to me. How sad. How sad. Anyway, let's say hello to Keith Best, who is first up. And Keith, I'm excited to share that the GoFundMe we set up for you just hit over $2,000 earlier today. So if you want to donate to Keith's GoFundMe to help with his medical expenses, the link is in the description for the video, and we're going to keep it open for another week or so and then get all the money right to Keith. So I'm excited to share that news with you, Keith.
Jake, you're amazing. That's what I will say. And I'll be on with Robbie. Let me on this afternoon when Robbie comes on because I got some kind words for him. But it's absolutely amazing of what this community can do. How we raise money for different things going on. You know, I donate my time to the kids with cancer. I got my Jets as Maniacs t-shirt on, best Ajmo on the back. No,
Ajmo.
seriously.
That's a new one. I thought it was Edgemo. Now it's Ajmo. I love it.
Yeah, I like Ajmo better than emoji. I don't know. Which one do you like?
I
like Ajmo.
I like Edgemo, but you said Ajmo there, so that's a new version.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. But I'm certainly blessed to be alive and kicking today. I got to get out of here real quick. I'm glad you said. Let me share a little bit that I have. Come here, Spunk. Come on, you're on the Jake Asman Show live. Look. Hey.
Hello.
That's New York.
Yes.
She's a Jets fan too.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So it's amazing what you can find down here in South Florida.
That's right.
We are actually on the live show right now.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. You have no idea, right? Come here, Nick. Come here, Neil. Come around.
No. Is first game this weekend or if it's
No, not 2 more weeks.
just the bye week?
Yeah, this is
No
the bye
games.
week. Yeah, no
Okay.
game. So, my friend Neil is here. He's from North Jersey. He's sitting with.
Oh, my son played with George
Yeah,
Travis.
his son played with Jordan Travis. Yeah,
High school.
yeah. And my friend, come here, Henry. Come here, Henry. Henry, come here. Hold on. I got another friend that's out here from Jersey too.
No. I'm gonna tell them a quick story.
No. Come on. Tell him the quick story.
All right. So I was born in El Salvador, Central America, came to Florida, and I grew up with these kids from Jersey, and they loved the Jets. I grew up here in Florida with all these Dolphin fans, and I've been a diehard Jets fan from age 8 years old.
God bless.
So my whole family are Dolphin fans, although I've switched my brother's kids into Jets fans. I love the New York Jets, man. Let's do it. Let's do it for finally one. Let's get one in, please. Love you guys.
Love it. This is the year. I love it, Keith. I love being your friends.
Crazy, huh? This is how this works. I don't get it. I just know it, you know. I gotta sign off, but great to have you on. I mean, great for me to be on your show. Absolutely
Keith,
amazing.
You're the man. I appreciate you and all the positivity and inspiration you provide for the audience. And let's check the GoFundMe right now. We hit over 2,000 earlier today. This thing's only been open since Sunday night. Just amazing. Support Keith Best. We're at 2,100 now. $2,125. I set a $10,000 goal. So, as everyone can imagine, Keith's medical bills from all the chemo stuff he's dealing with are immense. So, anything we can do to help Keith, we're going to try and do. Let's see. I got a couple super chats. Then we'll get to your calls here. Cramerica Industries writes in. I see many in Jets Twitter hoping TW doesn't play for San Fran. The Jets are beating San Fran by double digits regardless of Trent Williams' availability. I'm waiting on alternate lines to bet the Jets at -9.5. Then the real hype begins. Are you from the future, Cramerica? You know not only are the Jets winning, but they're winning by more than 10? I mean, where do I sign for that? What lottery number should I pick today, too, while we're at it? Could use some money. New York City rent ain't cheap, folks. Look, if Trent Williams doesn't play, you almost kind of look at it like if the Jets don't have Reddick, they don't have Trent Williams, I think you'd sign for that. Like, I think that's advantage Jets. Because the Jets still have other pass rushers. And Trent Williams is like, to me, the best in the league at his position. Like, that'd be a big loss for a Niners offense that would maybe be out of sync if McCaffrey doesn't play either with his injury and the uncertainty with Ayuk. So I would do that trade for what it's worth. I think I forget who asked me that. I don't know if it was on this show. I did Boy Green show this morning. Maybe he asked me that. Someone asked me that question if I would take that trade. I think I said I would. Jose with a super chat. Jose. Anybody going to Nashville week 2, hit up the Discord under the game meetup tabs. See you all there. We got a bunch of Asmaniacs going to that game, Jose, so I'm glad you're in the Discord and you could spread the word. Any road game, if you're trying to link up with Jet fans, especially ones who watch the show, join the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's get back to your calls here. We have a lot to break down. We have a lot to discuss. And it's good to see seemingly common sense prevail with this one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we say good morning to Bob from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Hey, I think you assumed something that I just hung up on you. I had a nurse's thing call me today, okay?
Well, you were on hold, and then Frankie left, and then you immediately dropped out.
Yeah, because I had a phone call from my nurses are going to come on Friday, so I don't have to go to the wound clinic twice a week. They're coming over my apartment, okay?
All right. Well, I'm just making sure that
okay,
you weren't just bailing on me.
I didn't bail on you.
No, you're getting very snippy with me, Bobby. I assumed stuff because you've done this in the past. You Hollywood me. You big-timed me.
Well, I just told you I have Beata coming to my house on Friday. They're nurses to take care of me.
It was just poor timing. It happens. It's all good. It's all good.
So why do you assume the worst of me?
I didn't assume the worst of you. You've done this
Yes, you
before.
did. Well, that was in the past. This is
So that's why I quote unquote assumed.
oh well.
You were on hold for most of the show once I made the call-in link available.
Well, I had a call
and
on
then-
my own.
And then Frankie had to go, so we let him go, and he
I had a
dropped
call
out right
on
away.
my own. I had a call on my own.
All right. Well, how'd that go? All good?
Yeah, Friday. I told you Friday they're coming over.
All right.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Good.
They're gonna take. I don't have to go every day to the wound clinic. They come over.
I hope it goes well.
Yeah, it will go well. The Beyond
Okay.
is very good for what they do. All right.
Sean
And-
writes in, Bobby is a massive celebrity now. He could do that.
Yeah, no, you know, if I have something to do, I have something to do. It's not Jake's problem. It's my problem. I have stuff to do, you know.
Man with a rake says, never trust a guy in a U-neck.
Oh, be quiet, Matt, with the rake. Won't you shove it up your butt next time?
Man.
I
Tom
don't
Ace
even
writes
know.
in, nothing comes between Bobby and a sponge bath from a nurse.
Oh, yeah, Tom Ace. That sounds good. Yeah. No, I don't think they're going to sponge bath me on Friday. They're checking my medicines, and then they're going to check my wound out.
Mr. Roberts wants to know, is the nurse hot?
I don't know. She hasn't come yet. Friday, I will see her, and I'll tell you.
Dave says, Bobby, hope your health is improving, but you need to be more humble.
What do you mean more humble? I'm humble, Dave Bragg. What the hell are you talking about? Be more humble.
He doesn't think you're being humble.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know.
Greg says a ham sandwich is sexy to Bobby. Is this true?
No, I don't like a ham sandwich. I like bologna sandwiches because I'm full of bologna, okay? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ham sandwich. I'm full of bologna. Okay?
Carl says big timing Bobby.
I don't know who are these new people that like type? You got these new people who like to type. They don't even know.
David says Bobby Hollywood.
I'll take that. Did you see who died yesterday?
No.
Sid Vicious. Sid, you know, the guy who wrestled.
Who did?
Sid, the wrestler back then.
Oh, my condolences.
You know him? Remember him?
I know of him. I'm not really a wrestling guy.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy. And do you hear that Izzy is gonna Dallas Cowboys are interested in getting Izzy?
I did hear that. I don't know if it's
No,
true.
I heard that on my Yahoo. Or no, my Facebook. I heard.
Mr.
That
Swag McMuffin says, I bet Bobby smells weird. Is this true?
I bet you smell like a fucking McMuffin. Sandwich.
Whoa. Calm down.
I don't smell weird. I took showers this morning and put the deodorant on, okay? Thank you very much. I think you smell like a McMuffin. Why don't you go to McDonald's and have some McMuffin sandwiches, okay?
It's a good comeback.
Yeah, well, I don't even know Mr. Swag McMuffin. I think you go back. Oh, I can't wait till Thursday. Then Jake Quest's name will be Bobby's left nut anymore.
Tom says Bobby smells like a man baby.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, I smell like a man, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Tom
Paolo
Ace-
says Bobby has gone Hollywood, but he's one of the most caring people on the show. He always asks about the host lives.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. What's his name?
Paolo?
Thank you. Paolo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a very nice thing. I don't know the guy, but that was very nice.
Matt says, Bobby, your lamp is tilted.
Well, I think my cat played with it before. Okay, Matt, take it easy. Oh, you're the guy from L5. I'll meet you on Halloween, right? Do I meet him on Halloween?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, anybody else?
Well, there's a lot of comments that are coming in.
Bad or good?
I would say it's a mixed bag.
Well, the mixed bag, the bad ones should go. I don't even know them. So. All right, so I'll let you go. You probably have more people on the line.
I got some big news, Bobby. Best of the Jake Asman Show, episode number 7 is coming out later this week, and you made the thumbnail.
No. Oh no, look at me. Yeah, that's my size. Hey, those are my shoes too.
The mystery of the crooked lamp, a big storyline in the best of episode 7.
That's gonna be a crazy one. The stuff that Gator does is unbelievable.
Mr. Swag McMuffin responded to you. He says, I didn't say you smelt bad. I said you smell weird.
What the hell does that mean? I smell weird. How could a person smell weird? Can you explain yourself? Maybe he got shoved in the McMuffin factory too much.
Maybe he did.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know how a person could smell weird. Can you explain that, Mr. McSwagger McMuffin, whatever your name is? I think I got another word for you, which I'm not going to say. That's with F. And then McMuffin.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it. So explain yourself. What does it? I smell weird.
Greg says you smell like old egg salad.
I don't, Greg. I don't smell like old egg salad, which I do like egg salad, but I don't smell like it. You want to smell my armpits?
I personally don't.
Well, Greg should smell it. Greg, smell my armpits, okay, Greg?
Yeah, Greg.
I'm using Old Spice, okay? How's that?
You should be using Mando.
No, I use Old Spice.
No, you should be using Mando.
No, Old Spice.
No, Mando, and then use promo code Jake Asman at checkout.
Yeah, but when I finish my Old Spice, I'll get that.
Dave says, Bobby, no expletives, please.
No what?
No expletives.
What does that mean?
No cursing.
I didn't say any word. I said one word that was bad, okay? So where's McMuffin? I want to know what he meant.
Paolo says, Bobby Baloney.
Yeah, I know. I'm full of it.
Mr. Swag McMuffin writes in, I bet I could not see you, but catch a whiff and be like, oh, Bobby's here, but I wouldn't have to, leave the room.
Well, once you go leave the room and go to McDonald's and put yourself in the burger bin, okay? That's all I want to tell you, because I don't know you from... Once you come on, once you call in and then talk to me like that, Mr. McMuffin Sandwich, once you call in.
Yeah.
See, you could type all you want. Ooh, I'm a big typer. And then you run your mouth. Don't run your mouth, because, I will kick your butt, because I will. Mr. Swag McMuffin. Come on, boy. Let's bring it on. Let's get some action. Come on. Let's go. Okay. Won't you call in, Mr. Jake's line's open. Come on. I'm waiting for you.
Ray Danger writes in, does Bobby take showers or baths? And does Bobby have a chair in his bathtub?
No. I do have a chair in the bathtub, but I don't. I take showers. No baths. I used to love when I was a kid take a bath. Now I would shower.
Carl says, Hollywood really changed Bobby.
I know, right?
Gator writes in, Bubby smells like a ham sandwich left out in the sun for 3 weeks, so they say.
Oh, come on, Gator. Be nice. Okay, I'm waiting for McMuffin to show up. Let's go, McMuffin. Run your mouth. Type.
Lucas Ford says, my kids are crying now, Bobby. You're scaring them.
Well, it ain't my fault. It's McMuffin's fault, not mine. Sorry, Lucas fault. Can't tell you. I'm telling you. Well, where's Mr. Big Mouth? Let's go. Where is he? Come on, I'm waiting.
Janella says Bobby's room definitely smells like a giant fart.
Well, sometimes it does. It depends on if I have Taco Bell for dinner. Yes. Woohoo! Does that make you smell like a fart? Okay, I'm waiting for Mr. McMuffin to call in. McMuffin Head, let's go.
Yeah, McMuffin Head.
Come on, McMuffin
Call
Head.
in. You scaredy cat.
I know. He's a big goofball. Who else I couldn't stand. Cats can be gassy. Yes, they can, okay? Which is mostly me, because you don't blame the cat.
Sean says Bobby is a big corporate sellout. He forgot about the little people.
I am not, Sean.
Ryan says Taco Tuesday. Are you going to have Taco Bell today?
Maybe. Taco Tuesday. Ryan's on the right track.
Gator writes in, how long before the bleep piles up behind Bobby so high that we can no longer see the door?
What do you mean? That's all. I cleaned them. It's all clean. I don't have. Okay, where's McMuffin Head? He left.
Where is McMuffin Head?
He has changed.
Where is he?
Oh, Charles Gordon wants to come on after me. Okay,
well,
so.
I got news for you, Bob.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Mr. Swag McMuffin.
How's it going, Bobby?
Who's that? Oh, you're Mr. Swag McMuffin?
Damn straight.
Oh, you finally cooled in, Bozo.
Absolutely. I'm not just going to talk a bunch of smack and not show face.
Oh, well, about freaking time you did.
Absolutely. I had to get all set up for you. I'm not saying you smell bad. I'm just saying you smell weird. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, explain yourself. I don't understand what does that mean.
I'm just saying it probably smells pretty distinct. I can probably smell you from a mile away and be like,
well, about you? What about you, 300-pound idiot? You probably smell like a back end of a horse.
All right, you 275-pound dummy, acting like you weigh that much less.
Yeah, I was 366 at one time.
Well, congratulations on losing the weight, Bobby. No hate. I'm just saying you probably smell distinct.
Well,
it's not a bad thing.
Like a barn horse animal. That's what
all right. I can take that from you. I guess I deserve that one.
Yeah, you deserve that one.
But at least I called in. You're not going to tell me I can't show face and then not show up. It's all right.
Well, good. I'm proud of you. You are the only one who ever called in, because there are some people are chicken shit. And
absolutely. But you know what? We both love the Jets, so we can get along at the end of the day.
So where are you from originally?
I'm from like mid-state New York in Dutchess County.
Oh, so, I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little bit north. If I say I live up north, everybody yells at me and tells me that's not really up north.
No, it's true. It's part of
it's not. It's not the city. So
Carmel, right? Lake Carmel.
A little bit more north, like towards Poughkeepsie.
Oh yeah, Poughkeepsie. You know who's from there? Snooki.
Snooki. Yeah, I know.
And Mr. Bonesy. You know Mr. Bonesy?
Is Mr. Bonesy from around here?
Poughkeepsie, yes, he is.
I didn't know that. Now I got to keep an eye out.
I
didn't know Mr. Bonesy could be
he's a good guy.
Lurking around any corner around here. I got to keep.
All right, you're a good guy. Let's be friends.
All right. I appreciate you.
We don't smell. We just
again, not bad, just distinct. I'm going to hold my ground on that one.
All right. Well, I don't understand what that means, but we'll let it go.
All right.
Well, be nice, friends. And then let's go Jets.
Let's go Jets.
Yes, Jets.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby who will elevate his leg after the show. Sometimes Jake or Gator, they might join him.
But my friend Addison, he's always there.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby. He's the host of my favorite YouTube shows. My boss Craig and Nick, they make me happy. But Bobby is my only love.
And then one day when the show got so amazing, like a Zoom meeting with drunks and drugged out whores, somehow this group would somehow form a family. And that's the way we all became the Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. That's the way we became the Bobby Bunch. And now it's Bobby McKnight.
That's what it's all about, people. Coming together. That's what happened on this show. All right? Bobby Midnight and Swag McMuffin, friends for life now. Hit the like button. That's tremendous. Glad they got on the same page. Carl Bananas says Jake needs to moderate the presidential debate. Nobody brings dissenting views to the table like Jake. I love my country. What can I say, Carl? What can I say? There's 3 things in life I love. All right. One of them I can't say on the air. The other 2, my country and the New York Jets. All right. You thought we were done. You kidding me? Not when this guy's on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Charles, Eugene, Anthony, Gorman. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake. Just want to say how you doing.
I'm good, Charles. I'm hanging in. How about yourself?
Good. I'm about to get going with my parents. Hope all is well. My parents waved. They said hi.
I'm glad they said hello. I'm big fans of them.
Talk to you later, Jake. Okay. Talk to you some other time. Hope the Jets do good this year. Okay. Just wanted to stop by and say hello.
This is the shortest call ever, Charles. And that's it. He's done. Wow. Shout out to the Gormans. One of the greats. One of the great families we have in this country. Came from Ellis Island as Gormani, was changed to Gorman. Just incredible. ISU writes in, Jake, do you have an update on Chuck Lagana? He became a channel member the other day, so he's back. He was not murdered by fake Garrett Wilson last year, so we can confirm that. That's good. Very good. Anyway, we've added no new members during this show. First day Jets joined before the show started. Hit the join button and become an Asmaniac. You'll be able to watch the best of the Jake Asman show later this week, episode number 7. More calls before we wrap. We say hello to Dirty, who joins us now. Dirty, I wore some Iconical gear yesterday.
That's funny because I actually wore the Asmaniac t-shirt the other day.
Love it. Love it.
You know what's crazy is that Deontay Banks, the cornerback from Maryland, that's on the Giants. I don't know if anybody saw, but he had a thing about, pancakes, waffles, and French toast. And his favorite was pancakes. There's a big video that went out. And one of the lines that I have is a voting ballot that says pancakes, waffles, and French toast. So I sent him out the pancakes one. So we'll
That's
see
pretty cool. Yeah,
we'll see if it makes it out to the Giants camp there. So, I'm in Newburgh, New York, which is only like 15, 20 minutes from Poughkeepsie. So I think they said
go say hi to Mr. Swag McMuffin Man.
I might have to give him a McMuffin. I mean, McDonald's over there is pretty good. So I mean, I wouldn't know. But any surprise cuts you think is going to happen today, man?
Well, I guess it depends on how you determine what would be considered a surprise, right? Like I'd be surprised if Izzy got cut. I don't see that happening. I'd be surprised if Tack or Taylor got cut. I think if Tack's cut, it's roster gymnastics. He's going to be on the team. So I don't know. I think we're taught, like, I don't know what would be a real surprise. Like, I guess like Yaboa would be a surprise, or like Brownlee would be a surprise, but like I wouldn't be shocked. Like I don't think there's going to be any like stunning cuts.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's going to be kind of exactly what we've been hearing throughout the summertime. This guy's hot. This guy's not. This guy's typical practice squad kind of guy, and that's what we'll get. Whoever put about Trent Williams, that's going to make a big difference. I mean, one of the best in the league. If he is not playing on that Monday night, that's huge. That's huge. That you can scheme around a backup left tackle being in there. And I'm sorry, you can scheme around a left tackle not being in there. So it's like you definitely can, in choice of better words, but you can fuck with the offensive line a little bit if you don't have your starting left tackle who's the best in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I forget who said this yesterday on the show, but Trent Williams made Laken Tomlinson look like a Pro Bowler. Like, and we know firsthand what Laken was. So Trent Williams is the man,
Yeah, and you know what? deservedly so. Like, he deserves this money. It seems like ever since Justin Jefferson got his payday, everybody's been looking for the payday, you know. And I think the tackles in the offensive line were like, hey, what about us over here? We're the ones that protect the quarterback so he can throw the ball. Like, you know, I personally, that's my opinion. But
yeah, 100%. Good call, Dirty. I mean, look, I still think Trent Williams will play. Like, mentally, I'm not allowing myself to assume they're going to be without their guys. I'll certainly take it if they're not. Without Trent Williams, I don't think people realize the Niners' offensive line is nothing special. It's a very pedestrian unit. You know what helps their line look better? They're playmakers. They get the ball out too fast. Plus, Shanahan's a great offensive coach. They scheme guys open. But it's harder to do that if you don't have an all-pro left tackle and CMC is either out or he's not at 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, Indy Jets just came through for the people.
Oh, nice.
Indy Jets has gifted 1 channel membership, our first of the show. Thank you, Indy Jets. We couldn't go a full show without a member. Unreal NYC is the recipient of Indy Jets channel membership. Appreciate you. Dave says it's an Asmaniac membership drought today. It is. I'm going to gift the membership right now just so we can get some more. All right, so let me upload that. I got time for 2 more calls. V8 and Rob will close us out. But first, Brazilian New Jersey Jets says, Jake, you've created such a great show / community. I appreciate that, Brazilian. The Asmaniacs are the best. There's nobody better. Each morning I wake up, I do the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's an honor to work in this country. Right, B-Man?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, V-Man. Here we go. V8 the Great up next. What's up, V8?
My guy, Jake. First off, just want to say, Jake, I think I can speak for all Asmaniacs out here. We appreciate for everything you've done this summer, keeping us Jets fans entertained and keeping up the news and everything with that. It's been a long off season, man. And I just want to say I do appreciate you each and every day.
Thank you, man. It's been a long year if you think about it. I mean, we had 4 plays of Rodgers and went through hell, and we're almost there, man. Almost there.
We're almost there. We're almost there. And second, I'd just like to rebound off what you said about the Niners O-line. You're a football guy. I like to think of myself as a football guy, but that right side is horrendous. And just to think if Trent Williams doesn't play, I wouldn't be surprised if we have 4 sacks on Brock Purdy, made him quote unquote die, as one of the Asmaniacs says. But yeah, like you said, that offensive line is pretty pedestrian without Trent Williams.
I completely agree. And if Ayuk is not out there, or McCaffrey's not out there, or if they're out there and they're not in great football shape, like, the Jets are just as talented as the Niners, and they have the advantage, I believe, at quarterback. San Fran's got the advantage at coach, but a coach can only do so much without talent.
Exactly. It's just they're having so many issues on the offensive side of the ball. It's just getting crazy. It seems like they're not really having issues on defense. I get Greenlaw's out, but they did replace him with Campbell, and Campbell's a pretty decent player. So
yep,
we're gonna see, man. Let's keep our fingers crossed that their issues keep going into week 1. How many more days? Like 10 more days until then?
13. 13 Yesterday was 2 weeks.
13 days till a W, Jake. I'm still gonna take you up on that calling off my job and getting drunk with you and the Asmaniacs while you guys are in New York. I'm out here in Cali, so it's gonna be one hell of a Monday night.
I love it. V8, I appreciate you, man. Great call. V8 the Great checking in. I mean, look, this line opened at 5.5. It felt fishy the entire time. It's now 3.5 in some spots. Hopefully you bet the Jets when the line was what it was if you're going to bet on the game. I think it's within a field goal, because I could see the Jets maybe having some issues of their own where new opportunity for so many players on this team. Rodgers' first full game, right? There could be some growing pains. I honestly, the better bet might just be, I don't know what the over-under is set at right now. The best bet you might be able to make is maybe under in this game. Let's see what it is right now. 44.5. Yeah, I can see it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have gifted a channel membership. One more time, V-Man.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jamarcus Richardson is the recipient of the channel membership. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have now added 3 memberships total in the broadcast, 2 during the actual show. So there you go. 1 channel membership at a time. Ray Danger with a super chat. He cuts the line. Hey, Jake, you definitely have the best callers out of all the Jet shows that have fans. Have you ever voted on who number 1 is, Bobby, Charles, or Lane? Have the fans ever voted? That's your question. Have the fans ever voted? You know what we could do next year? This will be a lot of fun. You know how every radio show in the country or podcast does like a bracket for March Madness? We'll do an Asmaniac caller bracket. We'll have to seed them 1 through 16. I don't know how many people we could seed. We might not be able to get a field of 64 or 68, whatever the NCAA is now. But we could do a 16 tournament. Let's do that. JC Medina says, how do you gift memberships? So instead of hitting super chat, JC, if you're watching on your computer, you can't do it from the iPhone. You just hit gift membership, and that's how you can do it. Nathan says, hey, Jay, Grand Junction Jet, excited about San Fran. I'll be ripping in Grand Junction. Love it, Nathan. Join the Discord if you want to link up with Jet fans. Big Fella says, been saying it for weeks. We're beating the Niners. From your lips to God's ears. That's how I feel. ISU, Carl Lawson cut by the Cowboys. He might be done, unfortunately. He might be done. Tom says, as Maniac Madness. Yeah. That's what it would be called, man. We'll have to make the bracket. I'll need help. I'll need you guys to help me slot that thing. That's going to be something. All right, last call, and then we wrap. We're back at 4 Eastern. I'm doing a radio hit in Syracuse at 1:30 today. I did the Boy Green show this morning. I'm doing a Jake Asman football show with guest Eric Edholm from NFL.com at 2 p.m. Eastern today, and then Sabo's at 4. So if you want plenty of me today, you're getting a lot of it. And if you hate me and you're still watching, because I got you by the you-know-what. All right, last call. Rob the Jet fan closes out on this stream. What's up, Rob?
Jake, you got him by the Gurions. Gurions, as we say in Italian.
Thank you, Rob.
Am I one of the 16 seeds there? Would I make the grade or not?
Look, I haven't put together the selection committee. I'm appointing Tom Ace as my deputy selection committee chair. So he's going to work with me and the other members of the committee to put together the best 16. We might need more. It might be 18. It might be 24. I don't know.
Well, put me on full screen just 1 second, please. Tom, you better pick me. I'm coming to find you. Okay, you can take me off. Well, I called in, Jake, because I'm thinking now, I have 2 friends who are huge Dallas Cowboy fans. And my friend was asking me about Lawson and stuff. What do you think, Cuz? What do you think? You think he'll give us some sacks? He was on your team. I go, listen, if he's healthy, he's okay. But he was mainly always hurt for us. And I would be cautiously optimistic for that guy. And now you just told me he got cut. So much for that. Now, do you think, Jake, that, I love what I saw for Izzy. One thing about Izzy that's different about the other running backs is he has an incredible speed burst like Brees. Okay, is part of the reason why I did want him to make the team. But do you think at any time he would be trade bait to a team like the Cowboys and we can get anything tangible for him or not? First question. Then I have just a couple of things else.
I don't know what you could get for Izzy. I was thinking about this. Could you maybe get a 5th, which was what he was picked? Maybe. I wouldn't trade him. I think he's going to be on the team.
No, I don't want to trade him either. You're right. I think he has that excitement about him. I kind of disagree with Bonesy there. Me and Neil are in agreement. I mean, he adds that burst of speed and those spin moves that are unlike Davis or Braylon Allen. So I'm kind of excited. If the Jets really have to give him a little bit more of an opportunity. They really haven't given him that much of an opportunity. So, I mean, but I hope he stays on the team too. I'm with you. As far as Swag Muffin, you're lucky. If Bobby got a hold on you, he'd do a beatdown on you. So that guy's lucky he called in because you don't want to get Bobby angry. Believe me.
There was a happy ending to the saga, though, Rob. It was good to see.
Yeah, I did see that. And one last thing, I was like speaking to Neil, and I was like saying to Neil, "Hey, you going? I don't know if I'm going to the Monday Night Watch. I don't know." Yeah, I was like, "I don't know if I'm going to the Monday Night Watch." I was kind of like teasing him a little bit, and he was like, "What?" He was like, "Bullshit." He was like, "I'm coming to pick you up. You're coming." He goes, "I don't want to hear that crap." He was like, and I started cracking up laughing. I was like, "Okay, Neil. Neil is the old capo. It's the Capitan." So I was like, "Neil, I'll be there, buddy. I'll be there."
Oh, you'll be there. We need you there, Rob. We need your energy, baby.
Oh yeah. I told Neil that I got a little bombed, which I did. I didn't get really out of hand with anyone. I don't think I did. Did I, Jake? I thought I was okay, right?
I didn't think you got out of hand. I think you just had a good time.
I was fired up. But it was fun. I had so much fun. Let me tell you. I took a day or so to recover, but it was a lot of fun. So I can't wait until we get there, Jake. And hopefully the 49ers are missing these guys and stuff, and we go into San Fran and we beat their ass down, buddy. We're going to start off 1-0. Pray to God, man. Jets, Jets, baby!
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob the Jet fan. With the energy. Man. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Dre Day. Dre Day just became a channel member. Did it the old-fashioned way by just signing up himself. Thank you, Dre Day. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. I was going to end the show, but we got a legend on the line right here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky NY is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, what's happening, Jake?
Ricky, I'm good, man. I'm very good.
Yeah, I'm good as well. Aside from being, Jets fans, there's one thing that you and I do have in common. I also like money. And I woke up today and got a card in the mail telling me that I'm getting $100 back because I guess the state of Florida charged 0.1% too much sales tax in the year 2020. So as long as I could prove I lived here in that year, I get $100, which I was able to do. So
nice. So what are you doing with that $100? Are you putting it on the Jets to win the Super Bowl?
Actually, I was buying more Jets merch with it.
Okay,
but I already put a bet on the Jets to make the playoffs and to win the division. So I put 50 on one and 100 on us to win the division. So I already have those bets in place. A good thing too, because now the rest of the world is finally starting to catch up and realize that we are the favorites. So the odds are getting worse. So I'm glad I made my bet when I did.
That's right.
But yeah, which, one of my points was the rest of the world is finally starting to catch up, apparently, and at least Vegas is, and seeing what we've been seeing for a while now. And, the Bills have gotten worse. The Dolphins can't beat a good team, and the Patriots don't even enter the conversation. So we're definitely favorites to win the division. And, man, I can't wait. And Hassan Reddick, as far as that thing goes, Hassan Reddick thinks that we need him, but I got news for him. The Jets are a playoff team without Hassan Reddick. In order to go all the way or make a deep run, yes, we may need him, but we're a playoff team without him. So he can sit there as long as he wants. JD's not going to budge. That's one thing we know about JD. JD sets a value on a player, and he doesn't budge off his price. The price is the price. That's the way it goes. And good for JD sticking to his guns. Looking forward to this year. And go Jets.
Ricky, Love the positivity, man. Congrats on the $100. The Jets are the best team in the AFC East. Doesn't mean they're going to win the division, but they're the most talented team. Now they got to stay healthy and get it done because I want a division title, man. All right. They haven't won the division since 2002. It's time. It is time. I'm tired of having Herm on my show and always having to say the last time the Jets won the division, this guy was the coach. And I love Herm, but it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God we extended the show because 5 people just got channel memberships, baby. Let's go.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
That's right. 5 memberships. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to the following 5 listeners who are now officially as Maniacs. Jeff Life, Enoch Forte, AZ Jets, Darnell Towns, Florida Mono Coacher. You are a channel member. Congrats, congrats, congrats. But wait, there is more. We are holy. Oh my God. Felix Campos.
Felix Campos. He wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman Show.
Let's make some money.
It is raining channel memberships. Here we go, baby. 20 names to read. Thank God we extended the show, huh? Thank God. Here we go. 20 names at the buzzer. We got the sauce. Ocho Nueve, Kikuchi, Sco, Jose Oliveros, Jared B, Famous J, Sal Pizzuto, Sean Reese, Islip Jets fan, Steve Smith, Chris Peterson, Black Jet, Hector Cabrera, KDG Adventures, Ed Vargas, Quick Dolo. We're not done. We're not done. Low Tempe TV, Tony S. All channel members. Let's go, Felix. Incredibly kind of you, my man. Seriously. Incredibly kind. Wow. Felix Campos, man. Nobody better. 20 memberships just added like that. And Felix is not done. He's got a super chat here. Jake, quick question. What was our average for touchdowns last year? And what do you believe our average this year would be? Well, they scored 18 total offensive touchdowns in 17 games, right? So that's not even a touchdown a game. That's actually less than a touchdown a game. I mean, I went to back-to-back games in person last year where they didn't score an offensive touchdown. The Charger game and then the Raider game. I mean, the Jets, I think, should average 3 touchdowns a game this year. 2.5 plus a couple field goals. Like, can they score at least 23 points per game? I think they could. I think they should average 3 touchdowns a game and a field goal. And that gets you to 24. They do that with a defense that's allowed under 20 the last 2 years. They're at least a 10 or 11 win team. If they're better than that, I'd have to look at where top 10 points per game was last year because I think they'll have a top 10 points per game offense. Say they're around 25 or 26 points. I'll see you guys at MetLife for the first home playoff game in the history of the Jets at that stadium. Indy Jet says, see what I started? Keep up the great work. Indy, you were the first to gift a channel membership, man. And then people said, you know what? If Indy Jets is doing it, I'm going to do it. Incredible. All right. Usually I extend the show if there's legends on the line. But after yesterday, I don't know if I want to deal with this guy right now. So I'm going to let the chat decide. Gary is currently on hold right now. Also, Lee Van, hold on. Jake not using a gustbuster. Of course I'm using a gustbuster. This is what we call the Metro gustbuster. It's smaller. It's better if you live in Manhattan, for example, because it's easy to take on the subway. Jake not using a gustbuster. That's like saying Jake's not a Jet fan. Or Jake doesn't love Margot Robbie. Are you nuts, Lee? Get out of here. Anyway, Gary is on hold right now. Do we take his call? I will let the chat decide. David says, put Gary on a timer. Will, let Gary in. Indy, no Gary. No. Swag McMuffin, no. One show ban for TV, let Gary on. Big fella, take the call. All right, Here's what I'm going to do, because I like Gary, but I like his daughter more. Decker is the only reason why the Gary call is going to happen right now. Hello, Gary.
Thanks, chat, and thanks, Jake. Thanks for taking my call. So it is greatly appreciated. And also, I wanted to let you know I just ordered a Gusbuster for my wife. I was surprised they were so reasonably priced. I got the classic.
Did you use my code to get a discount?
Oh.
I mean, I appreciate it. It's very nice of you.
Better price. Yeah.
I would have saved you even more money. Yeah.
But actually, Ricky made a fair point about Joe Douglas. I just wanted your opinion. Ricky said that Joe Douglas has a value set in mind for his players, and he's not about to go above that. And he seems to be right. Like, I'm not debating Ricky on that. I think he's correct on that. Do you think trading for a guy who wants to be paid above that value and then refusing to pay him above that value is a smart move?
I think Joe Douglas deserves criticism for the Reddick situation. I would not have made this deal unless I had a signed contract on the spot.
That was.
But I'm also not going to go as far as you and say that makes him a bad GM or he should be fired. That's where you lose me.
Well, he should have been fired
2 days before he was hired, of course.
I would have fired him on April 27th, 2021 when he handed
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
Right, of course.
I don't think I actually said that, but it sounds like something I said, so we can go with that.
Sure.
All right. I appreciate you guys taking my call, and shout out to the chat for democracy in action and letting me on the show. I appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
It's been I forgot to get rid of Gary. Thanks, Gary. Crushed a water bottle there. It's been a very patriotic show. You know, we had dissenting views with Bobby and Mr. McMuffin, Swag McMuffin. We got them on the same page. So it's been great.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I feel bad. I've been trying to end the show. Marcus has been sitting there on hold. I'm going to go to you, Marcus, just because you've been waiting, and I feel bad just ending the show. Marcus, you're next, and then one more legend to wrap, and then we're done. I have things to do today. I have to pee badly. I have to do a radio hit in Syracuse, the Jake Asman football show, a show with Sabo. I got a business meeting with Joe Beningo. I got a lot of things to talk about. But what's going on, Marcus? Thanks for
busy, man.
For
how's it going? How's it going, Jake?
Oh, my God. Where are you from, Marcus? This show's going a lot longer now that I hear that accent.
I was going to say right now, so the New York Jets, guys, they're not just spreading misery throughout the United States of America. They share misery across the world. I'm from the UK.
Wow.
I mean, the worst thing about this team is, you know, for UK fans, so for example, Thursday, Monday night games, we're waiting to 1 a.m. for a kickoff. So last year with Rodgers going down, 1 a.m. kickoff just to see him, you know, tear his knee off like 4 plays. It's brutal.
That's horrible. How'd you become a Jets fan, Marcus, in the UK? Uh-oh. Marcus?
Sorry, I lost you there. What'd you say, mate?
We couldn't hear you. How'd you become a Jets fan living in the UK?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, it was just when I was a kid, I played, it's like Madden. There's like a demo, and you could pick between the Jets and the Colts. And I flipped a coin, ended up being a Jets fan.
Wow.
But I got my tickets for the Vikings this year, mate. It's so expensive, like how much they charge for the games over here. But it'd be cool. Hopefully we can actually see some good play this year. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Mr. Rodgers can do, man. I think we're all just keen for the season to start.
I love it. So how does it work in London with the games? Like, do you guys have like Sunday ticket out there? Like, how do people watch all the games?
Do you get Game Pass, NFL Game Pass?
Yeah, it's offered here, but we have like there's a service here, like NFL Sunday Ticket. YouTube TV has it now. Like, you could pay and watch all the games on that.
Yeah. No, so I pay for the Game Pass. We don't get Sunday Ticket or anything like that over here.
And you can watch it live though with that out there.
Yeah. So like the great thing is, like I say, most games. So when you guys get a 1 p.m. Sunday kickoff, that's 6 p.m. for us. That's pretty decent. But like Thursday night and obviously Monday night is a bit brutal for us. But yeah, nothing like a coffee can't do. You know, just you have to sort of go to work and just try best to stay awake, really. But Yeah, it should be a good year. I was just going to say I had a delivery turned up. Let me just see if I can. Got the Curtis Martin throwback shirt for the collection today.
Nice.
I'll do the job, man. So yeah, I was just to sort of say hi to the guys, and as I say, 2 weeks, and hopefully we should see them beat the Niners up a little bit.
Marcus, that's awesome, man. I am planning on being out there for the London game. So if you're not on my Patreon, get in my Discord. I have info on a meetup that we're planning out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Well, I'll see you guys there, hopefully.
You got it. Marcus checking in. Great call. I'm glad I took his call. I was going to end the show. All right. This is actually the last call. I don't care. Like Obama could call in right now. I'm done after this.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Mr. Bonesy joins us now. Hello, Bones.
I'm sorry to keep you. I know you're a busy man. I've been a little busy this morning, and I just wanted to say I'm helping customers and listening, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm dying. And a customer actually said, "What are you thinking right now? You thinking this fit isn't correct? Why you keep laughing?" I'm like, in my mind, Bobby's talking to McStuffin or whatever the hell his name is, and I just, the chat is too much. I love you guys. I just wanted to say, Jake, I love you. I'm so excited for cut day. I know Rob was saying that I'm not an Izzy guy. I'm not. I don't know where he sees this burst and wiggle because I haven't seen it yet, but I do have bad eyes, so let's see what happens. And I'm basically confirmed for T squared, so let's lock it up. I'm trying not to get off the next day because it's going to be a long day. But even though if the Jets win, man, I ain't fucking going to sleep. We don't have,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If we lose, though, man, we ain't losing. We ain't losing. Let's go.
Know.
JETS. I can't wait for the next show. Love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonesy. This has been a wild show. It will be featured on the Best of the Jake Asman Show, episode 8, because episode 7's done. Knob Deep, I just saw the super chat. Hang up on Gary. Oh, man. Look, say whatever you want about Gary, but the guy does provide a lot of entertainment. It's not all positive, at least for me, but I think for the audience overall, it's a big positive. I appreciate Gary. Gary's a good guy. I met him in person. Anyway, that's actually the end of the show. Thank you all. Hit the like button on your way out here. Thank you to Felix for the 20 memberships. Thank you everyone else who contributed. Mr. Roberts gifted 5. I gifted 1. Dre Day signed up. Indy Jets. Appreciate that. Super chats were great. Calls were tremendous. We're back in a few hours. I'm doing a Jake Asman football show at 2 Eastern. Robbie Sabo at 4 Eastern. So if you're watching live, there's more of me this afternoon. If you live in the Syracuse area, put on ESPN Syracuse in an hour. You'll hear my voice then. I got a lot still to do today, but we will get it all done. So thank you all who tuned in. And we're going to end the show by playing you something that I think will inspire everyone, especially the New York Jets.
Lane, what's going on?
I don't think the Buffalo Bills could wear white if the Jets are wearing white. It doesn't make sense. Garrett Wilson and the Jets have a new coach. His name is going to be no more Robert Saleh. He also has to keep talking to his players going into the locker room. Attention, please. We have to do better going into tonight's game. We have to play better. We got to move the ball around. We have to focus more. And we also have to do a lot of other passing.
So they need to hear that before week 1.
Yeah, and it's funny how you put me in a suit in the draft and I Wait, you did that? Or you took somebody's suit and put it on me? The pick goes to Knoble out of college. You gonna pick a blue suit for me? What am I, Anchorman? From, I looked like from that movie, the Anchorman movie. I'll let you go. Bye.
You can't teach greatness, folks.
Big fella. Well played, sir. Well played.
Let's go, baby.